straight into gaming. God of War and Pokemon have came out. I don't play Pokemon no more, but I'll let you guys.
Nigga just don't play games, not Pokemon.
He don't play video
games.
games.
Well, fuck y'all, man.
This nigga don't play no games.
Look at this nigga. He not even in his fucking crib, G.
PS5 is here, by the way. So
I just noticed this, bro. Niggas that I don't see no Funko Pops on the wall.
You see, he approaching that age, bro. It is what it is.
What you mean? Washed?
Wow. Man's has been washed from gaming.
Man, everybody needs to be washed. I won't be washed anytime soon. I don't know about Cam, but some people get washed before others.
Bro. I'll never be washed. This is my life.
You know, it's gonna be every time he sit down, he gonna be grunting.
How much time? I got an hour to play the game. You imagine saying that, bro. Imagine saying I only got an hour to play the game.
I think I can squeeze in a 2K. I gotta put on 5 minutes though. Man's on God of War. He probably didn't even get to fucking.
This dude's still running away from Freya, G.
Plot twist. I'm looking for Freya now, so it is.
With Atreus, nigga?
With Atreus?
Oh, nigga, you still in the pro.
Oh, Lord.
Man, that's the pro.
Bro, you still super. Your ass is early as fuck in that game. Hey, you washed, my boy. Yes. But we gonna start with Pokemon first. Disclaimer: if you are a Pokemon fan, log off. If you love Pokemon, if you cannot hear criticism or slander when it comes to the Pokemon IP franchise,
you might have to put a disclaimer.
Go ahead, click off the video.
Put a disclaimer.
Go ahead, click off the video because me and Detroit have bars for this fucking game. I will start with this, and I'm gonna let Detroit take the floor. We go back and forth. I have in this year alone. Remember, I got Gotham Knights. For those who didn't know, it's been a long time, but we got Gotham Knights. That shit was a bunch of mid, but I got that game knowing it was gonna be mid. I have this year alone, in the year of our Lord 2022, have never been so disappointed in a game than this fucking game. I'm talking about like Sword and Shield. My disappointment with Sword and Shield is nothing compared to this game. It is completely asinine.
And I say there's one thing. Did they kind of sneak this Pokemon release? Because I literally forgot a Pokemon game was coming out.
No. This has been a thing since like this has been early.
Yeah, it was so much hype for this game after Arceus, bro.
Yeah, because they announced this.
Arceus was. I remember they announced Arceus a lot of praise.
Yes, this year. That's what I was about to say. This year, it is crazy how this year alone, Game Freak has managed to create one of the best Pokemon games ever made and one of the worst Pokemon games ever made in the same fucking year, bro. It is wild. I cannot believe that this is what they consider to be. This is what they released as the next mainstream Gen 9 Pokemon game. It is. I'm completely baffled. Detroit, you could take the floor, bro. Go crazy.
Just gave a nice opening.
Shit, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good, yeah.
Fucking, my computer was fucked up because, I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh,
but, y'all know the game. I don't know what I really got to say about it because y'all, if anybody has listened to this podcast from the beginning, I can get the best out of fucking garbage. So, I literally can enjoy myself. But it's just sad, you know. I see it more of the fan aspect of it. Like, I think this is a top 3 letdown for me. You go probably Cyberpunk was probably the biggest. Like, damn, man, what could have been?
Right.
For me, No Man's Sky is kind of like I should have bought that on release date type shit. And then this, like, I'm a kid you not, like, it's such a strong brand that going into it, you were still bad knowing that you about to see some shit. Because it's a strong brand. Like, Pokemon is a strong brand. So it's so like part of the culture, not just for like, you know, anime or Japanese. It's part of black. Like, Pokemon is really part of black cultures. Nigga, that shit used to be banned in black churches.
Yes.
Ain't no lies.
So like, it's definitely a game that, like, knowing. so funny we was chilling with Cam playing Overwatch, and I was like, "Hey, Cam, you might want to look at some of this game."
We was watching Shofu's live. Shout out to Shofu. We was watching Shofu's live stream. I kid you not. The second I turned that live stream on, I thought he was playing Sun and Moon, bro, like a 3DS game. G, I was baffled, bro. Like, when I tell you that bitch was struggling to run. That bitch was struggling to run. Like, he was
fighting for his life.
I don't.
I'm gonna keep it beans, bro. I done had a Switch for like 2 years now, right? You know, Switch is my secondary system. I don't go as hard on my Switch as I go hard on my PlayStation, right? I have never seen a Switch crash. I have never seen that screen in my whole entire life.
I didn't know that was even possible.
I didn't know it was possible either. I thought it was a soft lock, like, you know, you gotta press home. Yeah. I ain't never see that bitch crash. I ain't never seen the system software has been disrupted or whatever. Closed application. I ain't never.
That's a strong word. That's a strong word. It's disrupted.
Like, so I'm looking at. I see this nigga Switch crash. I'm like, oh, bruh. Shit.
And the chat was saying that this has been happening throughout the stream. Like, this wasn't just a one-time thing that it crashed.
Yeah, which is crazy. And mind you, the day one patch was already applied, so it's kind of not an excuse in any situation. A lot of people, man, you know, everybody a shield for something. You know, you're gonna defend things you like. Pokemon got some crazy shields, bro. Like, it's nasty. People talk about, people who played this game on emulators are doing this. I'm like, bro, nigga, everybody ain't got no homebrew Switch. Like, do you know how much you gotta go through? Homebrew software for the Switch and paying a nigga to do that shit for you costs more than the Switch itself. Like,
that's a
I'm telling niggas, look me up on this, bro. If people, you will ever see somebody with homebrew Switch, you'll go in the comment section and they'll be like, bro, how you homebrew the Switch, guy? How you homebrew the Switch? Because ain't no website that'll tell you. You got to go to a Discord, and the nigga who do that shit gotta like you in order for him to help you do that shit, bro. Like, Nintendo got so much shit on that goddamn system. That ain't no regular, I'm gonna download this shit on the internet and now I got a jailbroken Switch. No, nigga. It's like,
if you say, he's like, you gotta sign an NDA.
You can still play multiplayer games on it, right? So, but it ain't easy. So I'm like, bro, everybody ain't got no damn homebrew Switch.
No.
Motherfuckers barely know how to restart their modem, let alone do that shit.
Right.
So, like, I was like, all right, whatever. Bro, none of these problems happened to me. I want to tell you this. These are not isolated situations, bro. Okay? I will say this. I played Cyberpunk when it first released, and the only thing that ever happened to me was a crash. But I'm not about to go to anybody else and tell them that they experience is not true because it didn't happen to me. That's so fucked. And so that's like you putting up a shield for Game Freak, a multi-billion-dollar company who has the license to make a game for a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Pokemon is the top selling, grossing, like, anime franchise. Fucking the juggernaut that Pokemon company is, bro. The juggernaut. Now, people like to talk about One Piece, Dragon Ball. You know how Dragon Ball is in Latin America. How One Piece is a Japanese fan. Pokemon is that to not only Japan, not only to Latin America, but to America as well. Go to Australia, you'll see.
Nigga, they live stream Ash winning on multiple buildings in Tokyo. They live streamed that shit, bro.
Nigga, bro, I damn near cried when Ash won and you saw all his former Pokemon.
Yes,
because
bro.
It's part of the culture. We was there when Butterfree got set free. Like, and he went to go fuck some.
When he had to let Charizard go in Dragon Valley, bro. We was there, my nigga.
We was there. We was
that
there.
Nigga let Pidgeot
go.
Out
to Lapras.
Man said, man let Pidgeot go and say I'm coming back and never came back, nigga. They beat daddy.
Like we was there, bro. Like all this shit is like we was there. So now another thing, like this is not a devil's advocate, right? I don't expect much from Switch games, right? Because no matter what Switch game, I think except for like Xenoblade, because the only time you can critique Xenoblade Chronicles 3, because it pushed the limits of the Switch, so you critique it on a JRPG level, not a Switch game level. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean by that? Like when you look at that, you look at that as in how this holds up to Dragon Quest Elusive Age, how this holds up to Breath of the Wild, not on a Switch level, but on a grand total of like, yo, this shit some heat. Other games on the Switch, like if I'm looking at Dragon Ball Heroes, I'm not expecting like crazy graphics. I'm not expecting shit, but I'm not expecting crazy graphics. When I look at even Three Houses, right? Three Houses is not a graphical masterpiece, like whatsoever, but it works. A lot of people don't understand why, like, there's a thing, right? In like when you are a consumer, as a consumer, you have the right to get your money's worth. And people don't understand why, and they have this such a shield mindset. There's a game, AEW Fight Forever, that's coming out, right? The fans are saying, as long as the gameplay is good, I don't mind about how the game look. Bro, I understand that. I love gameplay more than I love graphics too, right? But there is a thing that you have to get out of a $70 game. Like there is no like, it's worth $70 because the gameplay is. I'm like, nah, that means it's worth $60. That means it's worth $50. Because there's indie games that run smoothly, 60 frames a second, no problems. That's $50-$40. Like, so what makes you? Because once you hit that $70 RAM, you become 3 A's. Yeah. Not 2.
That's when I'm looking at. That's when I'm looking at you differently. Like, hold on.
Yeah, talking about 70. So I expect to get my money's worth, and that's the same thing with Pokemon. I expect to get my money's worth. Like $64 compared to playing $78, $98, however much them PlayStation games is. There's a very small difference. I expect, because imagine Nintendo never have sales, so I expect this game to be looking better than Sword and Shield. I expect this game to look better than Arceus. I expect this game to look better than Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, or whatever it's called. Like, I expect to look better than Mario Odyssey. Why the fuck is Mario Odyssey still the most beautiful game on the Switch to this day?
Breath of the Wild as well.
Like, it's blowing me.
Forget about Breath of the Wild.
The fans ain't gonna let you forget about it.
It's a toss-up. Like, I'm kidding you not. Xenoblade, Breath of the Wild, Mario is the 3 best looking games that have ever came on that Switch. I have yet to see anything else, right?
Yep.
You chop up the decks, right? So you don't have as many Pokemon as you usually have. So you can't say it's a hardware issue that they can't control everything, right? Because you chop up the decks. Like, we're not getting Pokemon Home till spring. Spring don't start till March. So what Pokemon Home is, for people who don't know, is if you play other Pokemon games, you can transfer them into Pokemon Home. Then when Pokemon Home releases on a new game, you can take those transferred Pokemon. If you play Arceus, you can get your Hisuian Pokemon, all the shinies that you got and stuff like that, and bring them into your current game. That shit not coming till March. I ain't playing this shit in March.
I'm not playing this shit in March, bro.
So I eat that, right? All right, cool. I can't play with that shit till March. Another thing, bro. If I'm gonna pay $60-something for a game, 40 frames per second is like the bottom now. So if I'm looking at 40 frames per second or 30, I think 30 is the better term.
Switch is 30. 30. I think you rarely 30, because we don't have any like.
It's a consistent 30. Consistent
30 is what Switch is. 1080p,
so,
30 frames per second.
If you give me a 30, that's the bare minimum for games now though. Like if you launch your game and it's struggling to hit 30, you suck. Right? Just because of how technology evolved. There's people who go on the fucking Dreams thing and can make a video game out of it. There's people who are using the Unreal Engine at the moment and making damn near realistic ass games, right?
Fucking amazing games.
There's no excuse. No excuse. So when you in a situation of struggling to hit 20, to hit 10, to hit 5, like when we can count the frames. Like, you ain't supposed to be able to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like you count polygons. There's developer source shit in the game, so you can see the like developers. I forget what it's called, but they have these little symbols that developers use, like when they move and shit around, that they can just click and move something. Right?
Yeah.
You can see that in certain parts of the game. It's like a little Pokeball. It's in between little spots. There's T-poses that come out of nowhere. Now, imagine there are some people who are abusing some of the glitches, like they're going multiplayer and run through people battles and stuff like that to try to make it seem like it's, oh, this game is crazy. I'm like, we know you're doing that just to get them likes on Twitter.
All right.
But it shouldn't be easy to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, mind you, I am a Pokemon fan.
Man.
I'll tell you this right now. I actually, shittiness from aside, I'm enjoying my time playing the game. Like I found a shiny, and that was probably the highlight of my month, like until Thanksgiving. Like it's cool. There's a lot of mechanical things that they should have got from Arceus, which I really don't want to talk about because fuck this game. It's not the easiest game either. Like I ran into some shit. Gym battles I run through. I didn't ran into one of them little gang hideouts. Niggas was on my ass. Yeah. Some of the since it has an RPG aspect, there's a lot of fuck around and find out moments, which I think is good. Yeah. Like if you go to a certain area, you like I tried to catch this Tauros that was like terrestrialized, however you say that word, whooped my team ass, had to leave until it said you can't run away from this fight. I was like, damn, he about to whoop my shit. But other than that, man, like, there's more and more as I play video games, I give ratings out. So I got to do this because damn sure go give a rating to God of War. This is a solid 6.5. 6.5, 5-ish. I don't, like the story is so hands free that can I even say there's a story? And I don't mind that. Hey, do what you got to do to make freshen things up. I will say, 6.5, because it's good. Like it's a Pokemon game at its core.
Yeah.
Right.
So like that part of the game is good, but it's like.
Yeah,
it's like a sprinkle in a pile of shit.
But other than that, I'm good. I don't really got no more critiques on it. I am gonna look while Cam talk. I am gonna look at look for my Switch. That should be like 2 seconds away from me, and see if I can show y'all some of the shit while he talks. So give me a second.
I might. What I'll do is I'll probably record some gameplay and put it on the channel as well.
Okay.
But so. Performance. I think that's the biggest thing for this game. I think the performance is like real. I'm talking about like, I don't know if you saw the clip I put in the chat. I'm talking about like,
no, I saw.
You have people who are perfectly rendered in a cutscene, and you have other people on the side going
struggling for life.
This. I mean, struggling within the same cutscene, bro. I'm talking about like. Walking through like okay, so this game encourages exploration, but when I tell you I don't want to explore in this game, I don't, because running around in that open field with that bum ass legendary Pokemon that they give you at the start of the game that you can ride around in, When I tell you,
folks is a bum though. I ain't gonna hold you.
That Pokemon,
folks a bum.
Pokemon is a bum. He is a bum.
I don't know because the way the story goes, he can't fight right now, so I don't know how he gonna be when he ain't, But
right now, bro,
I had to feed a nigga sandwich to make him swim. So like I can't.
This man is like definitely one of the weakest legendaries. Because I don't know these niggas are, but like one of the weakest legendaries I've seen in Pokemon history. I will say so, like, because I know a lot of people like, because you can't escape the Breath of the Wild comparison. To call this game Pokemon Breath of the Wild is an insult to Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
I think that, like, again, this game, as far as the ambitions, I think the premise is very good. Even though it's like this game was probably, you get to go to school and do this other stuff. That shit lasts like a cutscene, and then they're like, yeah, go out and explore the world now. But it's a good thing because
school is pointless.
It's a pointless mechanic. I don't know why they put it in there, but they give you these objectives where it's like, okay, you can take on the gyms in any order that you want to. You can also do this thing where you're helping out this student find this herb that's supposed to be good for Pokemon health or whatever, and then you can take down the team of the game. So the Team Rocket of the game, which is Team Star, you can take down their bases. So there's 3 big mainline story objectives, and you can do whatever you want in whatever order. The problem is that the game's mechanics discourage that, because you say that you can go out and do whatever you want to, but if you're somebody who's like, well, fuck the gym challenges, I want to go do this exploration for the herb, or I want to take down the gang hideouts. If you're going in from that angle, you're going to have to do the gym challenges, because in order for you to get Pokemon up to a certain level to catch and to have Pokemon obey you at a certain level, you have to do the gym challenges. So you discourage actually doing whatever it is you want to do because you have things that hinder that, which makes no sense. So I think that, like, again, I think the ambition of the game is good, because it's like, do whatever gym you want to in whatever area, or you can explore the world, you can do all this stuff. It's just that the game itself hampers that, because I don't want to explore this world because I'm running at 15 frames per second. I don't want to like run into Pokemon encounters, because instead of Arceus, where all you gotta do is just throw a Pokeball, you can capture it, you can move on, I gotta sit there and battle a Pokemon in order to capture them. It gets annoying. It gets boring. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, it's like a 5-second annoying ass delay when you start a battle. that infuriates me. You run into a Pokemon and you're just standing still for like 5 seconds, and it's like, okay, now we can battle. It's like the game's performance is the biggest detriment, and I'll tell you this. The reason why I have zero sympathy, and it's really fuck Game Freak, Nintendo, Pokemon Company, whoever, right? It's a big fuck you to all y'all, is because they advertised this game like it was perfect. I'm telling y'all this right now. There's a trailer that Nintendo put on their channel, like it was an overview trailer. They put on their channel like this week, or like around this week, and it showed off the game, and it looks nothing like the game that we got. Like in that trailer, the game it was running perfectly. The graphics looked really good. Like it was like, holy crap. When I saw that, because I saw it, I'm like, man, I cannot fucking wait for this game to come out. It's going to be so good. It's basically going to be Arceus, but a mainline Pokemon game. And then we get this. I think that, like, and then they trail, like, we were like, what happened, right? Because we got Arceus early this year, and it's like, holy shit, this is amazing. And then when we found out that Scarlet was coming out, and it's like, oh, it's supposed to be basically taking elements from Arceus and expanding on that for a mainline Pokemon game, we're like, okay, this is going to be really good. And then we get this. And this is the A-team. Apparently, the people that worked on Arceus was a separate team from the people that worked on Scarlet and Violet. So fire them niggas. I'm sorry. Get the niggas from Arceus. They're your A team now. And fire the niggas who made Scarlet and Violet, bro. Because that shit is abysmal. If I were to give this game an early rating, and I'm very harsh when it comes to games because I paid $63 for this fucking game, especially on the Switch. Now, Daytrail doesn't play the Switch like I do. I play the Switch. I played hella games on the Switch this year. Triangle Strategy, Live Alive, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Bayonetta 3. I've played hella games on the Switch this year that far exceeded my expectations of how great games on the Switch can be. And this piece of shit drop, Arceus as well. This piece of shit drops. This game right now, early rating is a 4 out of 10. Below average. Below average. To me, there's nothing on there up there for her to get anyway, so I don't know why she's up.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, anything else on this shit.
But like, there's no excuse, especially since you released Arceus early this year. There is zero excuse for the game to come out in the state that it did, for the false advertisement to go into this game the way it did. And knowing Nintendo, they're not gonna address this. They're not gonna fix this. They won't give a fuck. Because, like it or not, this game has done numbers. This game has done numbers just like Sword and Shield has done numbers simply because it's Pokemon. So, like, there's not really going to be any big changes. They're not going to learn their lessons from this. So, this, to me, this dealt a huge blow to any hype that I could potentially have for anything Pokemon related. Except if they announce a Arceus 2. And it's from the same niggas that made Arceus. If it's like the niggas who made this game is like, oh, we're going to help them make Arceus 2, I'm good. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I had to get that rant out of the way because this is like I'm telling you, I went to sleep sad on Thursday because the game came out on Friday. I went to sleep sad because I was like, when I was watching Shofu's stream, bro, I was like, there's just no way these niggas looked at this game and was like, this is good. They are gonna love this as much as they loved Arceus. They gotta love this. So I can't wait for the Donkey review because I know that shit's gonna be fucking hilarious. Donkey, just be ready because them the Pokemon fans gonna come at your head top.
If the Sonic fans came at that nigga head, the Sonic fans came at Donkey head just for showing the Metacritic score compared to Elden Ring, right?
Yeah.
They came at Donkey head on Twitter, and now because I'm gonna keep who gives a shit if a Sonic is 8.8, right? It's like Sonic fans gonna love if they gave them shit, to tell you the truth. Keep it 100% being with you. Just like Pokemon fans will love it. But they said Donkey fans, because now I think the game is like an 8.5 or 8.4, not an 8.8. And they said Donkey fans went on Metacritic to lower the score. And I'm like, you getting mad at the wrong nigga for that. Like, he ain't encourage, he ain't say, go, he just showed like, hey, for as funny as this game is, they comparing it to this and shit like that. He was basically saying reviews don't mean shit on the game.
Yeah, because they were comparing Sonic to Elden Ring. It's like these are two different games, bro. Just because they're both open world, these are two different games.
So, like, if anything, it's a strand, like exactly. A Death Stranding, like
the connections. It's all about them connections.
Kojima wasn't going, but yeah, I don't. The Pokemon fans enjoy y'all shit. Like I said, look, I got the. I can't see. You know, I'm playing on Eichenwald in Overwatch right now, even though it's Pokemon. But I'm playing the game. It's mediocre, man. Like again, reason my ratings be so different from Cam because I can literally get some enjoyment out of some shit. Not in real life shit, but some shit like.
Yeah, platinum.
You put my mind to. I put my mind to it. I can get my time out of it.
Especially it's good to have it's good that we both don't have the same score.
Exactly.
We're two different gamers.
Exactly. And I'm gonna get my money's worth. I treat games like a job. I'm putting in some money. I'm gonna get my 8 hours. I ain't going. I'm gonna get my 8 hours. Man.
I'm damn sure ready to clock the fuck out this game. I ain't gonna lie to you.